invitation of Monica Monteiro, I am a founder and president of Lady Diamond, which is a platform to connect business and women, women in Brazil and in the world as well. So I am here. I'm very proud to be here. And I'm going to follow you as a master of ceremony today and tomorrow. I would like to greet everyone that is here and everyone that is online through YouTube. I ask, please, that you put your phones on silent mode, okay? So we can avoid noises that will compromise our event. Thank you so much for your understanding. It is a great satisfaction to see this event happening today with the objective to support the feminine cause and promote debates that will boost the women's professional development. Noticing that we see women in positions of power in countries and in society. If we had a masculine protagonism before, now we are part of board of directors, we make decisions, and we decide the present and future of many people, right? IBGE has launched in March that only 39% of the managerial positions are occupied by. It is related to the law, and it's necessary to see that the companies will guarantee that this equality will be kept and that women can occupy spaces and be whatever they want to be. Before we start talking about the topics and the panels that we're going to have, we want to thank some people. This event is so important and gathers so many valuable leadership thanks to our partners. We'd like to thank our sponsors and supporters of the third WeFORUM. So the third WeFORUM, Women Entrepreneur Forum, is held by CMAC, the Council of Women Entrepreneur Women and Culture, CACB, Confederation of Commercial and Business Associations in Brazil, CNI, National Confederation of Industry, CNI Network, the Brazilian Network of International Business, Apex Brazil, Brazilian Agency to Promote Exports and Investment, Ministry of Development in the Industry and Trade and Services of the Federal Government, IBREI, Brazilian Institute of the Development of International Business Relations. Let's give them a round of applause. We'd like to thank our sponsors as well. ACSP, Commercial Association of São Paulo, BRB Bank, IDB, Inter-American Bank, Sebrae, and Group Sabin. Let's give them a round of applause. Also, we'd like to thank for the support of the All Ladies League, Beauty Fair, Brazil Champ Sweden, BRICS, WBA, CCX, Brazilian Council of Commercial Companies that are importers and exporters, the Club of Businesswomen from Portugal, ETA Portugal, the Liting Women, IBICT, Infra Women Brazil, Lady Diamond, Inspiring Women, Positive Women, OBME, Brazilian Organization of Businesswomen, YECCI, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and WIL, Women in Leadership in Latin America. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. So let's also thank Mr. Ambassador Laudemar Gonçalves de Aguiar Neto. He's a Secretary for Trade Promotion, Science, Technology, Innovation, and Culture of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Also, we'd like to thank Mr. Bárbara Botega. She's a secretary at the state of Minas Gerais. We also like to thank Mr. Coronel Carlos Henrique Guedes. He is a strategic advisor of the governor of Minas Gerais. And also Fabila Calazans, manager of the project Develop Women of National Sebrae. Let's give her a round of applause. Our special thanks now to two women that didn't measure any efforts and never measure their efforts to gather the guests that are so representative and that dedicate voluntarily to this cause. These two great leaders, I will invite them to the stage to give you the welcome on behalf of the organization of the WeFORUM, Mrs. Ana Cláudia Badra Cotait, President of the National Council of Businesswomen and Culture of CACB, and Mrs. Mônica Monteiro, President of the Industrial Forum of the Businesswomen of CNI, and also President of BRICS WBA Brazil. She's also a manager of Band Pay TV and CACB, and also Cine Group Advisor. Let's give her a round of applause. Good evening, everyone. Please receive our warm welcome at CNI, at National Confederation of Industry, that holds 900,000 companies. This space is highlighted because of this dynamics in our nation and is essential to advance. And in this beautiful day, we held the third Women's Entrepreneur Forum with the participation of more than 600 businesswomen from 9 different countries. Here, we highlight not just men as managers, but as pioneers and seeing the determination and innovation. I recognize the efforts that all of you had to be here in this place, so let's make business. That's why we're here. And it's a privilege to be a voice here and to lead a revolution in the environment of business in Brazil. So let's have business here. And also, I would like to thank the president of this house, Ricardo, for your trust. This event certainly will have more than 50 million reais, which is our greatest challenge. We have to have a lot of business today. I also like to highlight that the next decades will have more influence of women in buying things. And it's also very important to develop products, so we have to think about new products to the market for the consumption of women. And for me, it's very cheering to see that 80% of companies they already develop products for women, and 65% of the companies they adopt policies, gender policies. And we have a huge team here, and I would like to thank Danusa Costa Lima. She's a chief of the cabinet of CNI, and we have a huge team here to make everything happen, and especially to the directorship of development here at CNI. and we are working together so you can be here today and tomorrow. So we have a huge team here with us. Thank you so much. And you made all this possible. And also would like to thank the President Alfredo Kutak for the confederations of the business in all Brazil. We have this all over Brazil. They are a strong network. Alfredo, you recognize the women's capacity not just because of the consumption but as an entrepreneurial strength. And I would like to thank you for everything that you have done for us. Your faith in this at SEMEC was developed by my friend Ana Cláudia and is fundamental to move the economy. Congratulations to us. I also would like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ambassador Laudemar Aguiar. He also makes a lot of efforts to help connect Brazil to the world. And CNI now is going to be together with BRICS, and we're going to compete all over the world. So we have more income generation, and just to end, the private sector is a machine, a very powerful machine to fight inequalities. So when we talk about inequalities, we have to think about the private sector, and that is why you're here. So you're a powerful machine that will take us out from inequalities. So more income, more richness, more investment, more new technologies, and we have a lot of opportunities. So we can have this new universe of women. So together we are part of a consortium of business women together with many organizations that are here. And I see, so we have Emília Buarque, Janine Brito, we have Obi from São Paulo, we have Márcio, we have Ibrei, Mauricio from Ibrei that has helped us a lot. We have many women of all these organizations that came from all over Brazil, like the chamber from Sweden, Late Diamond that is presenting this event. So all of these organizations to have this group of women, this energy, and this is what moves me and makes me believe that we're going to change this. So the money has changed, and we want to consume products that have our faces. So Lindália that came from Portugal, Women to Watch. We have Equality Women that is here already. So we have a group of women that came from all over Brazil to be here with us and fomenting business. I also would like to thank Chris. Chris is our president of the Federations of Industry of the Espírito Santo. Chris, thank you so much for being here. And every week she asks us, oh, how is the movement? The movement doesn't have an owner, it's a movement. So we are the voices of this movement, but all of you are part of this. So it's to boost women because women are going to bring more women and we want to do a lot of business. So Anna, you have a lot of people to thank and I would like you to continue. There are a lot of people that make this happen. Good evening. As Monica was saying, the trade sells what the industry produces. So I am in name of here of the trade. So it's fantastic to gather this and to have an event like this. This WeFORUM, businesswomen from CNI. So I would like to thank CNI for hosting this event, for helping us. And Monica has already thanked, but I would like to thank you, President, again, you and your team that help us hold the event. I would like to thank three women that are here that were fundamental, that helped us a lot to hold this event. Rose Rainha, the superintendent of Sebrae, this federal district. Thank you so much for your kindness to us. It was fundamental to have the support from Sebrae to have this event. Our Deputy Governor, Celina, and Gisele. I would like to thank Gisele Ferreira. She's doing a fantastic job at the district, at the federal district government. And Celina was really nice, and I would like to thank you for your support. And Ana Paula Repesa, that is the director of Apex Brazil. If Apex was not here with us, hand to hand, we wouldn't be able to do B2B and help women export and import. So I would like to thank Anna. Thank you so much for your support.
And who's here too is Renata Malheiros. I want to thank her for her support. Renata support our project that is evolving and Sebrae Dallas. SEMEC is a net of entrepreneur women organized with 750 councils in all the states of Brazil. Today, we are more than 200,000 women based on the 2,300 associations, and we are a municipality. We are in the municipality. So with this capillarity, we attain all so that this net achieves the whole place in Brazil. This feminine day is a special occasion where we can celebrate the potential and importance of women in business world and the union and to unite our forces with only one purpose to develop the entrepreneurship mentality of women. These women who starts their business are geared towards commerce with little entrepreneurship and with through our research with 216 comma and 15% in different business also and so that we act in different areas of activities. So I say again, commerce came from those who work. We have to walk hand in hand with CSCB and CNI. Most of them, 35%, start as a individual entrepreneur, and 24 enterprise, and it's widening day by day. And today we need them to help the May women who are in May. They have been receiving, they've been successful, and they need we CACB helps women be successful, and the WeFORUM tries to do an exchange of e-commerce with these women international with an international partnership. Today we're getting people from different countries, and CACB has a program with import export through CCX, which is leader and guided by a woman, the Council of Women Import and Export, small traders, supported by Apex Brazil, which help the small business with e-commerce in the industry to start business in foreign or abroad. They have several missions. They have surprised us with this amazing market which is in Africa. We just came back from Kenya, which we had a mission with excellent results. In this mission, composed by 20 Brazilian companies, most of them leaded by women, we brought more than $1 million of requests and more than $10 million in future businesses. We have an expressive number of women ready to work abroad and export. I would like to invite the representative of those countries that are here present to organize missions so that our women can widen the market with their product. I want to be here with you, be make this task come to fruition. I think it's really important that we unite our forces. I want to highlight the importance of job and income, not just for our society, but for all of us. If women are bring more jobs to women, we're going to bring a better society, more inclusive, with equality, and with programs destined for projects for them. the value the ASCB gives to women through programs and budget for developing the counts of the women that are entrepreneur in SEMEC helps our net even more. Unfortunately, this is not common in the Brazilian institutions. We have to change this, what's happening. They have to budget business for women, public policy, dialogue with government and private companies, national, international, is our role, and that has brought women to given women a voice that starts measures to create a favorable environment for them, and with access to money lending and the capacity for becoming better. Nobody works alone. I want to thank you to have my friend, my partner, and all the team of SEMEC through José Olival that did not measure the efforts so that we can offer the best for you in this event. You you form a wonderful team. Thank you very much for team of SEMEC. Well, everyone, I'm going to finish my speech by saying that I am in love with what I do today, which is to help network for women, give them all the ideas and projects, and be a person that motivates all of you. It is very gratifying to see this auditorium filled. Look how beautiful, how wonderful the opening of the event. Imagine tomorrow when we have our panel, how much we're going to bring. And and I would like to wish a wonderful night, successful event for all of us. Monica, thank you so much. It was tough, but we did it. You have the forum here, and you take advantage of this unique moment that is just for you. Well, very well. Congratulations for these two wonderful women and the team that's here preparing this event, making it to come true. We have a video from Semek, is that right? Let's watch it. Okay, before we start. All right, let's do it.
Every day, new company are open with the hope that they will develop, they will prosper, and they will change the lives of many. A new business, it's much more than an idea, it's a dream. It's the willingness to grow and make the future a better place. In this context, the CACB acts the Confederation of Trade and Business Associations of Brazil that gathers 27 state federations and more than 2,000 trade associations all over Brazil. Together, they form the largest community of businessmen and women in Brazil, discuss solutions for the problems that affect the many sectors of business in Brazil. Also, it grows the number of women that are businesswomen, and there is the need of a support network to these leaders and that they are so innovative women. That is why there is the National CEMEC, the National Council of Businesswomen and Culture of CACB, presided by Ana Cláudia. CEMEC is an initiative created to support mainly the trade associations to promote associativism with a connection between women and entrepreneurs to generate income that impacts significantly in the economy of Brazil. CEMEC shares knowledge, integrates initiatives to strengthen women in leadership in their business and also in great corporations. It supports, represents, and helps in the training of women that seeks their independence and financial freedom. There are events, debates, congresses, trainings, and campaigns that are held all over Brazil, like the freedom to entrepreneurs. And we have as a focus the business entrepreneurs so we can have effective results in their business. Also, to promote connection, union, and a single experience of networking and debate of relevant topics in the community. SEMEC is Women in Action, a community that is formed by leaders and voluntaries in all Brazil that develop economy, strengthen competences, and promote the growth of millions of women that dedicate a lot to be where they are right now. And that goes beyond. SEMEC, together we'll be stronger and we will go farther. Look for the commercial association that is close to you and be part of this community. Let's let's give a round of applause to Semeki. This forum is to show that women are doing business with a lot of strength connected to a lot of countries and activities. It is important to know the scenario to know where we can see more our visibility. So we now invite to be at the stage for our institutional presentation Mr. Ricardo Alban, President of the National Confederation of Industry, CNI. Welcome. Let's call also Mr. Alfredo Cotaiti Neto, President of CACB. Mr. Rose Rainha, she is a superintendent of Sebrae Federal District, and Mrs. Ana Paula Repesa, business director of Apex Brazil. Gisele Leão, Gisele Ferreira, she will also be here with us, representing Celina Leão, deputy governor of the Federal District. Let's give them a round of applause. Now we'll hear the president of CNI, Ricardo Alban, the host of this event. Good evening, everyone. I think it is a great satisfaction to see this audience so beautiful. It is not so common to see more women than men for us. So I am more pleased than you to see all of you here. So I would like to greet all people that were here before, Monica and Ana Cláudia. So you, you don't miss this opportunity. I would like to greet the president of the Federation of Espírito Santo, Christine. And the money is not changing hands. It was always in your hands. Chris is an example of this. So she's a financial director, and in our family, although my son was is a manager of finance, the finance person in my house is my daughter, my sister, my mother. My mother was always worked in the house, but this part of the money has been in the hands of women for a long time already. I would like to greet our State Secretary, Gisele Ferreira, representing the Deputy Governor of Federal District. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to leave men for last, okay? President of Human Capital Africa, Obi Ezekwesili. I'm sorry for not saying this correct, and thank you for being here. Our president, director of events, Ana Paula Repesa, business director at Apex Brazil. Rose Rainha from Sebrae, thank you so much. I would like to greet all of our chief of compliance, the NUSA, and to be with women is always a joy and always very efficient, a sign of efficiency. So the chief of the office has been with us for a long time, and not because she's a woman, but because she is an efficient person. Director of CNI, Rafael Montesi, and our dear friend and partner of CACB, President of CACB, Alfredo Neto. Thank you so much, my friend, for sharing this important moment. I would like to say to all of you that we at CNI, we have uh, more women here than men, and it's true. But to say that among our managers, we have more women than men, and we're going to see where you're going to go. This is a difference, a huge difference, because we've seen, and we were talking that who is more determined, who has more willingness, are the women. And we have women growing exponentially in exact science, which was difficult, and everything, all these movements. I believe that in 10, 15 years, naturally, you will be more in managerial positions, and you will be representing a lot of people without a question. So I ask of you, take us with you because you're going to be more prepared. You're going to have more capacity to be in those spaces and take us with you. The comfort zone is always a terrible thing, and maybe men are in the comfort zone. So we supplement each other. And that's why I always say it's we forum, we are us, and we can do it together, side by side. And behind the great man, there is always a great woman. This is in the past. Now we're walking hand in hand. We are building a new civilization. And this word, we, it's difficult to see this in the world. So, us, we, men and women, I believe that you have a lot to conquer. You have to continue on this fight, and I want to assure you that this friend here is an admirer of your capacity, of the determination of women, and we're going to walk together always. And I ask you to take us with you. Thank you so much.
President Alban, we want to thank you, and we want to give the floor now to Rose Rainha from Sebrae. Good evening, everyone. I would like to first of all give a special hug to my friend Ana Cláudia, Mônica Monteiro. Congratulate them for this event. I'm able to be here present, and all the preparation with all the care and responsibility that they have prepared and planned every detail. So congratulations. I'm sure that today and tomorrow we're going to get out of here overwhelmed. There's so many important content for business. And I want to greet also all the men that are here. You have about two men that we realize clearly that their point of view and the commitment that they have with women. President Alban and President Alfredo Kotage. President Alban for having as a president, Mônica Monteiro, having Mônica Monteiro in this such important forum that culminates in an event such as this, and President Alfredo for having dedicated and having the courage to recognize this the strength and not be intimidated for the fact that she is his wife, and also give all the support for all of us here in the federal district. We deserve this beautiful work that's been developed from Semeki and these women and all the regions, administrative regions, with his beautiful history. Right, Bia? That's been guided by Bia. So a special hug for our Vice Governor, Gisele. We know she's not here because she's traveling. A hug to Ana Paula. We're always going to be together. So everyone, my word here is just to thank for having the opportunity of being here. This is a very dear topic for Sebrae Federal District. We initiate the month with lots of work, lots of women. Many of them are here today working this topic. Not because she's a woman, but it's because it's business, and we recognize and we see the strength of women, and we know that together we can transform this entrepreneur world in a much better place and much more just. Thank you very much. Thank you, Director Rosie from Sebrae for Federal District. And now we want to invite Ana Paula Represa. Good evening, everyone. It is always a pleasure to be back at this house that I recall my own. After so many years working in partnership with CNI and Apex, President Alban, I bring here the greetings from our President Jorge Viana, but also I want to leave here my appreciation for this event that initiates today, and certainly I'm thinking, Monica, that we're going to have more than 50 million. We are confident in that. President Alfredo Cotati, also our thank you very much for the work in the Câmaras. Ana Cláudia, a recent and old friend, which is an enormous pleasure to follow your work close by together with Monica. Monica always inspires us and challenges us, and we feel more and more motivated to go forward and work harder for our state and our country. I want to greet my friend Jose Rainha from Sebrae Federal District that has a special role in preparing entrepreneur women and business women. We develop this work in partnership. The businesswoman, when she gives a step forward and looking for the international market, looking for export job, talking about Ferreira, which is our vice governor, which is also a big strength in this movement of including women in the economy and the marketplace. I am business director of Apex Brazil. Apex is the Agency of Brazil Import Export Investment. And last year, we decided to publish this gender equality commitment. It's a commitment that brings something inside the agency, but also outside the agency, in order to motivate more engagement and inclusion in the projects that are led by women, the that deals with export. And I can never forget to highlight the first commitment. The first obligation of this commitment is that Apex have always had 50% of women in their leadership position. And after 1 year, we were able to attain this number. We made some changes in the statute of the agency so that this commitment become an instrument for governance more inside the agency. And it's with so much pleasure that we can see that 1 year later we were able to attain that number. And doing so, we feel even more apt in looking for more engagement in the companies that are led by women and their actions as well. We have companies for international market, mentorship, all inspired by our dear Renata Malheiros, that has always stimulated us when saying that women have to, yes, women do need business, But us women, we also need some kinds of training, specific training into the reality that we have always been immersed in. So competence, social emotional competence, so that women can feel capable, empowered in being that place of international organizations and international market. So that's not frugal. So we work with this together with the Ministry of Industry and Commerce Development. So especially the engaging more and more companies that are led by women when it comes to commercial promotion. How do we do that? By changing some rules in the agency, putting special bullet points so that, for example, when a company that's led by women and subscribe in our actions and want to apply for a certain opening in an action, they have extra points, and so therefore they are able to be in a better rank. That way, the second semester of last year, we had 33 actions geared towards women, more than 1,000 companies led by women that were impacted by these actions, and 374 of them became export. 20 of these companies, Mr. President, are here participating in the forum here today with our partnership. Monica did this call and said want provocation, said that Apex want to put this company here that were capable to be here, and then export companies, they're going to be here to tomorrow with the business. And we brought 10 international buyers, not only in the BRICS countries but also countries from the region, and that will be negotiated with all the delegation in the, present in all the other countries. That so we are here, we believe, and we understand that one company export. We have an organ of IBD here, and they love it when a company exports because he will employ more people, pay better salaries, and when this company is led by women, they employ more women, like Ana Claudia said, and invariably this income from these women, it will be destined to better nutrition for her children, better education, and so with export we generate immediate impact of business, but also social impact and better way of life for her generation, future generations. So we hope to contribute with this, especially when it comes to the BRICS, where it's more. We are happy to do that. So please count on Apex for that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ana Paula, Director for Apex Brazil. Now we give the floor to Mr. Alfredo Gotaiti Neto, President and Director of CACB.
Good evening, my friends are from the Women Entrepreneur Forum, the ones that are Brazilian and the ones that are from abroad. So I would like to give a special recognition to Ana Claudia and Monica. They are very determined women. This is the third edition of this event. I would like to greet our host, President Ricardo Alban, and this group of extraordinary women, Ana Paula, Rose Rainha, and Gisela, representing our Deputy Governor, Celina Leão. And all of you. It is interesting to see that every time I participate, I get more and more excited because I look at all of you. And I know that many of you are from here, but many of you came from other states to participate in this event. And if you came here, I saw a lot of entities that organize the women's business. And I preside CACB, which is the Confederation of Trade Associations and Business in Brazil, which is a network of associations and federations of trade associations that are in the municipalities where we live. The trade associations are close to all of you. At the video from CMAC at the end, there is always a reference so you become a part of the associations. They are in their lives of the city, of the cities. It's just not just a meeting to do business. It's also an institutional entity that takes care of our lives, defending the entrepreneurship so necessary to Brazil. Entrepreneurship that is so not highlighted. I always talk about the importance of the women that is an entrepreneur, and I support in a very decisive way to give support to business women. I have great examples I would like to reinforce so you continue in this battle and continue doing business. We have in this forum two great pillars. The one that uses the knowledge and exchanging information among you that can truly lead to great business. And also the international women that are visiting us, and that for sure this can be the beginning of good business. We from CACB, we have CX that has been talked here, which is the council of the companies, export and import companies, that actually are small traders that help small business to export. And we are the majority, the economic basis that talk about trade, services, and we're apt to be able to export abroad and also import through these importers and exporters that have the support from Apex in our missions. So now this is my word of enthusiasm for you. I really believe that you are going to take hold of the country. And I'm sure that the future is very promising with the participation of women. But I need you to be guided not just about trade, services, and business. You are an institutional network and you need to have a voice to defend entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, and in general, especially when given the independence of our network, somebody or the governmental entity wants to interfere in the entrepreneurship. We have to rise. We have a network of women that needs to have a voice. And CACB, through the Council of SEMEC, is this voice. Let's not leave that ancient topics get in our way. So let's work every day. We want to generate income. We cannot leave people interfering in our lives. We have to fight on the freedom to be entrepreneurs. This is our life. We have to generate income and to develop our country. Women, we depend on you. It's a great forum, and I hope you leave here more excited to be able to be entrepreneurs and to be able to develop our country. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Alfredo Cotaiti Neto, President of CACB. We invite now Mrs. Gisele Ferreira, representing the Deputy Governor Celina Leão.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So much joy today. Bárbara, Mônica Monteiro. Thanks be to God for tonight. This night, 25th of May, we're in the month of the women, 8th of March, but we've done several things, programs, and Jose, this is a big gift for Brazil, Brazilian, the world, because here we're having so many connections happening, and certainly we will change several keys. I'm going to turn some keys. First of all, I would like to bring a hug from our vice governor that couldn't be here, but she is very excited about this topic. And this topic of women geared towards violence. And unfortunately, we still live in a world that needs to change. This chauvinistic world that we still have women in places. We still have women. We already have women of power, but certain things haven't changed. So this change starts in entrepreneurship and autonomy when it comes to money. So we want to promote, and there's no way we cannot use it for this topic, and Jose, so we can give this opportunity for this topic. So sometimes I come into places, and it's important what our president said. Let's tell the women about this topic, because this topic is not just for women, it's for men and women, because we live in a society. I'm the secretary of women, but I am a teacher from by education, and we need to bring this topic to schools since they are a child. We need to talk about entrepreneurship, finances, and to learn respect. Some people talk about they are from the time where they did not use a seat belt. Sometimes the child would come home and say, "Dad, please use your seat belt. Mom, don't use the cell phone." So you're only going to change society when we put this topic, we bring this topic into school and our flag that so respect women. Also, with finance matters. So Jose Rainha works when the state can only work when we have a third sector with us. So Dr. Janetti has given us support because we cannot work this topic alone because it's very transversal. We need to be all over the society in order to change this. And I say the government is a friend of women because we don't argue, let's give women opportunity. We have several spaces. Health is health, for instance. This morning we had this lady that's very inspiring as a sergeant major. She's the first woman in command, I want to say. And I want to say that Federal District had the first women in command of the fire department. In Latin America, we have the first one. So also in the police force, we have a woman in charge. It's important. So a lot of children in schools, a lot of little girls in schools, they want to be one of those. They want to serve in the force because the word convince, but the example leads, moves forward. So I want to bring here, because I was this morning in another event and some people say, well, the world is changing. Women are having more opportunities. No, the world is only changing because women are having more opportunities. So congratulations for this turnkey point. This is what it is, where we're going to put entrepreneurship, capacitation, because information and knowledge, they set you free. So congratulations to all of you. Certainly, this will be a mark for so many realizations. Again, thank you very much for that. Perfect, Gisele Ferreira. Thank you very much for your position and your collocation. Thank you very much for your collaboration. And I'll ask that you now go to the middle of the stage for an official photo. In the meantime, I would like to also thank Renata Malheiros, representing SEBRAE, National Sebrae through Margarete Coelho, the Administrative and Finance Director, Gustavo Cesário, representing Sebrae, National Sebrae, through Bruno Pique, who was Technical Director. A round of applause for our guests. Oh. Official photo, the third edition, the beginning, is $1 million picture. The third edition of Women Entrepreneur Forum. And we're going to now start our big event. Thank you very much, everyone. The WeFORUM, we unite several big executive women and their histories, and in recognizing all their trajectory, we want to invite to the stage Ms. Obi Ezekwesili, President of Human Capital Africa and is Senior Economic with the Development in Africa, NDPE. Here I ask you to come, give her a round of applause. And the homage will be given. Oh, be welcome. This homage is going to be given by Costa Lima, the Chief of Cabinet of CNE, who give the peace tree done by the plastic artist Nehil Jr., which received several um, gifts from Brasilia. Obi, congratulations. Obi, while she receives that very, we want to talk a little bit about Obi. Obi is specialist in public economy and counselor of economic sector of Africa and a co-founder and pioneer direction for Transparency International team. And in the organizing of the global against the corruption in Brazil. Nowadays, she is a CEO for Human Capital Africa, working in the education sector and all over Africa. She is the president and founder of the SPPG, the School of Politics and Governance in Abuja, Nigeria. She was candidate to the post of president of Nigeria in 2019 and became president founder of Fixed Politics Initiative, an initiative leader by citizens based in researches. Fixed politics preview a country where politics is inclusive. The needs of the citizen are prioritized. Democratic principles are respected in a way that good governance be the norm. She was vice president of World Bank, the region Africa and Washington, D.C. between 2017 and 2012. She served in the government of Nigeria between year 2000 and 2007. She was Federal Ministry of Mineral and later on of Education. She was the deputy presidential and leader, the monitoring of budgetary unit of intelligence, and later on became the Bureau of Public Purchases, BPP. Samatis was pioneer president of Initiative of Industry, Extractive Industry and Transparency of Nigeria, which later gave capacity for Nigeria. Later, she worked as the Director of Project and Strategy and Economics in Harvard, Nigeria, in the Center for Development of International of Kennedy School of Government in Massachusetts. Very award is very well recognized. Um, you so deserved recognition.
Congratulations.
Thank you so very much. And I must say that you're extremely
E devo dizer que você é muito gentil.
I am so delighted to be
De estar nessa sala. Me sinto tão energizada de ver esse tipo de otimismo. Quero dizer que todas as pessoas que quando disparar
gives me such tremendous joy to be able to join you at this third important gathering of women. And Monica Montero, you're just simply a force of nature. And where is her co-conspirator? Yes. And you, Anna Claudia, my goodness, you are such amazing women. And may your reign be long. I really want to thank my dear friend who is fast becoming a sister. My dear Janet Vaz, unbelievable. You know, Janet, as you probably know, represents the ideals of what we discuss whenever women gather on the matter of women, economic empowerment, as well as just broad issue of gender inclusion. I went over to her company today. We both serve on the board of FDC, which you mostly know as Dom Cabral, if I am correct. Well, I am on the board of trustees, so I get to come to our board meetings, and meeting her in her best form of what it means to be a leader who is a woman, has been. I'm sorry. Okay. It has been really incredible. You know what I took away from visiting her company? 70% of staff are women. 70% of leaders in the company are women. Now, what does that immediately do? The data that I just quoted is evidence of what we have always indicated by research, that whenever women assume positions of leadership, representation matters, because it means that a door path is open for more women to be lifted into positions of leadership. Why is this important? This is important because, how can data still tell us that globally we would need more than 132 years before we can achieve gender parity? Closing the gaps between opportunities that men have, whether it's in terms of economic empowerment, it's in terms of human development, it's in terms of political participation, addressing the issues of gender-based violence, that all of these would take us some 132 years to achieve. Who wants to be part of the generation of women that did not change this story? Does any one of you want to be part of that? I don't want to be part of it. And so I celebrate all of you because you represent what women world over should be about. A sense of fierce urgency to change today's story. The reason we must change today's story can even just be understood within the rubric of the participation of women from the BRICS countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. When you think of the fact that 32% of the global economy today is in these BRICS countries, 32%. It's overtaken the G7 GDP that is at 30%. It means that it's incredible what could happen to the global economy if just within the BRICS countries we can achieve political, economic and human development parity. It has been proven that some 26% increase in the global GDP is possible if we can have more women as much as men involved in productive activities. My dear sisters and a few brothers that are in this room, I must give it to the men who are here that you're very bold. It is really a matter of urgency. Number one thing that is important for us to take away is that women don't just suddenly become entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, in many of the less advanced economies, especially in a place like my continent, Africa, women have no choice but to become entrepreneurs. The reason is they just really have to do something productive in order to keep the home going. Children going to school, families having access to health is dependent on women doing one economic activity or the other. But unfortunately, it's always very informal, unstructured activities. So it is usually low productivity activities. It therefore means that we must do everything for policy to support the productivity of women. Policies would have to start for women at the level of just ensuring that all girls go to school. All girls must go to school in our world. Not only must all girls go to school, they must go to school and learn. It is not enough to go to the classroom. It is more important that when they go to school, they actually learn. Because an educated young woman would make more informed choices about life. Educated women will make more informed choices about society. The reason that representation matters is that when we have women at the political table, they are better able to negotiate the right sets of policies that improve the business opportunities for women. Can you imagine how difficult it is for men to realize that the women on their teams actually need time out to breastfeed a child while still in their employ? I mean, it's a basic thing. But they just don't think about it. It has had to take women literally fighting for this matter. That support parental leave for both the husband and the wife, that support what do you call it, flexible work structure, that support less working hours. So a lot of these things might appear so simple, but they have made significant difference in countries that have made progress. Now, when you gather like this, the first thing you're thinking is, it's a good idea to be together with my sisters. But my dear sisters, even more important would be the conversations you have during this WeFORUM. You must have sensible conversations that would support the scaling of your ideas. Women sometimes are afraid to grow. Your opportunity to break that mindset that you don't want to grow is in this conference. When you look at the other women who have grown and yet are able to keep all aspects of their lives going well together, you will see them as examples of what could be. The number two important point for me in this segment of my talk is that all the barriers that stand against the growth for women are actually within the realm of public policy. They are often there. But how is it that women in private sector and women in politics do not come together? Why? We must end that. Because the truth is, political power is absolutely necessary for us to have the kind of economic freedom that supports the prosperity of women on an equal basis as men. What that means, therefore, is that, Monica, we do need to begin to think of how a structure of relationship between the women in industry, the women in business, and the women in politics and policy can happen. Men have a capacity to network. They do it naturally. They don't even have to like themselves. All they need to care about is to make progress together. And they immediately forge a relationship. Why is it difficult for women to be that intellectually and emotionally connected to one another? Bringing you all together is a demonstration of the fact that we need more women acting together in our world. Why do we need that? You have seen that our world is struggling. Our world is struggling. Existing multilateral institutions are not functioning as well as they should. The United Nations has become a very difficult place for solving global problems. The multilateral systems of the Bretton Woods institutions are struggling. The WTO is struggling. But guess who can bring a new momentum to the multilateral order? Women. The voices of women are absolutely important because we are again in a 1945 world when the world was struggling and there needed to be a system to deal with the global problems. We're back there. We have global problems that we must solve. We have problems of climate change. We have problems of disruptive technologies that are opportunities, but if not properly regulated, could create disasters. We have problems of cybersecurity. We have problems of the security, conflict. I see that. All of these problems will be solved to the extent that women bring a new energy to the conversation that currently goes on, where people don't understand the concept of principled negotiation. The lack of principled negotiation in our global dynamics is frustrating the necessity that we have for peace. Peace is a necessary precondition for economic growth and prosperity. If we do not have peace, it becomes difficult for capital to flow across the countries of the world. The moments that we have had the greatest prosperity in our world have been moments when we had the greatest stability and peace in our world. Now, what does research show to us? Research shows to us that when women participate in the process of finding peace, we actually get to peace. So don't simply be an entrepreneur. You have to be a purveyor and a leader with a voice to shape the politics of each of the countries we come from. Women as leaders are the world's most important secret weapon. But with all of you, that secret weapon can become a weapon that everybody cries out for. It is time for women to rise beyond all the barriers especially by removing the self imposed ones. The self imposed barriers of thinking that we're not good enough, we're not capable enough. It is time to smash it. It doesn't exist, it's only a perception. But if all of us can empower each other, I bet you that we will surprise not just the world, but ourselves. Because all you need to do is to make the woman be like the tea bag, which becomes its best when it's thrown into hot water. There's hot water in our world, and it is time for women to show that we hold the ace for changing the trajectory from where it is going into a place where we create a prosperous, inclusive, stable world where everyone can thrive for us and for the generation of children coming after us. I once again thank you for the gift of an award. I don't know what I did to deserve the award. All I know is that I came because I was told by my dear friend Janet, that I must come. And when a woman calls, we must answer.
Thank you very much, Obi. You're a great example for us, great reference of strength and power. And I would like to invite Mônica Monteiro for some words. Please, Mônica, come up here. Vou chamar a Mônica Monteiro.
I'm going to call Mônica Monteiro for a few words now, please. Thank you.
Muito obrigada por estar aqui.
Thank you very much for being here with us today. For Obi to be here, she traveled so much from very far away. She was giving a speech in Berlin, Athens. I said, come here, please. And she's here under my name, and Claudia and Sienna, CNI, SSB, SMEC. Thank you so much for being here. Your energy spreads all over. You're an example that women need to be in power. If we talk about economic power, this forum is for that, as a political power, and put them together and bring more and more women to this area of the politics. So be a president of your syndicate, be a women of power. Some people say, I don't want to be president, deal with this. Have a voice. Be a woman of a union. Thank you very much, Obi. I want to take advantage and thank Adriane Feldman. I'm not sure where she is. She's somewhere here. Mariana, our ambassador. She decided to come and live in Brazil. Thank you, Mariana. Elise, who came here, our partner. Rosi Santos, wonderful women. Women in phases. Rosane is somewhere here. Someone, Teca, who came from São Paulo, Lara, who came from Band News, the first woman in TV in the area of news. Samantha Penedo, who's here somewhere, I can't see her. Biara Schiavo, who came from Rio de Janeiro. Patricia Monteiro, my partner and sister, who's here. Beatriz from Fê Comércio. Thank you very much for being here. I want to take an official picture now. Anna, come here. Come up to the stage for the picture of $1 million picture as well. Official picture of our 3rd edition of WeFORUM. Meanwhile, while they get ready for this picture, very inspiring women, we're going to watch the video from our amazing sponsor, Sebrae. Shall we watch the movie? From always, women are protagonists in the building of history. They build their own strength, being entrepreneurs, breaking barriers, and moving the world. Movimento is a group to get together and meet for a short, medium, long time to move society for women entrepreneurship, for independence, financial independence, reducing gender inequality and promoting opportunity for women of Brazilian and all over Brazil. The key question is, what have I done for the women around me? Movimente-se, move. Creative women breaking barriers. Very well. Thank you, Sebrae, one more time. And moving forward, the first day of Women New Forum, we receive international leadership from institutions that have an eye more keen to the most profound in a female scenario and worldwide to talk about politics in focus and to lead this discussion and compose the panel. The leader of most important international places I invite to the table, Maria Paula Fidalgo, actress and author. Welcome, Maria Paula. They will be in this panel the following leaders that I invite right now to come to the table, and I ask you to greet them kindly with a round of applause. Mr. Morgan Doyle, representative in Brazil of the IDB Group. Ms. Sharmila Navat Govind, General Director of NDB, New Development Bank, NDB. A round of applause. Mrs. Natalia Martinez Paramo, Head of the Unit of EISME, European Commission. The interpretation booth cannot hear. There's something with the microphone. We apologize. And we're not hearing at the moment. We cannot hear at the moment. Okay, I feel so powerful right now being here. Honestly, the words from Obi was very inspiring, really impressive. I have a few questions before we start the panel. I would like to know if there's anyone here that believes the progress of a nation depends on the progress of women. Who? Anyone? Who here thinks that the force of democracy depends of inclusion in women, of women? Who here thinks that the strength of an economy depends on the work of a woman? Who here thinks that the richness of a society depends on the participation of women? Now, the most important of all, who here thinks agree with me that human rights depend on the respect of women's rights? We are at a moment that's very delicate. It's a moment that are so many the challenges that we have to deal with. Obi said very well, the challenges, the cyber challenges, artificial intelligence. We have also climate challenges. What I notice is that in the general fashion, everything that's rational, all the contribution are very square or linear. They can be substituted by technology, but the feminine contribution that depend on intuition, perceiving the person next to you, or the temperature in the place. These are not that's they're unreplaceable. So I would like to give salute to all the women here because we're each time more and more needed even for this historical moment that we're living. So thanks all of you to bring the strength to a place that is key, which is the place of business. Monica invited me to be here today. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm an ambassador of peace, and I know that each one of you are doing so that the whole community is able to be protected because there's nothing more powerful than the independence through work, through labor, and the success of each of you brings together a bunch of women who are having the opportunity to put themselves in a way that they're safer in their own life through what you're offering them. So it's very important for us to be here today, talk about public policy, so that all of this can come to fruition. We need instruction, training, management, so that this is a favor, give us a favorable condition. So I'm going to start here so that each person start talking a little more and more, a little bit about their work in this group of women. I'm going to come here inviting Natalia Martins. She's the head of the European Commission. Please, Natalia.
Now, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank for the invitation, and also I apologize because I am Spanish and I'm speaking Portuñol. So I thought I was going to speak in English. All my notes are in English. So I live in Belgium, and so I apologize for that. I work at the European Commission, and I was in Brussels. I've been in Brussels for 32 years, and I am a part of a unit that develops a program for small and medium companies, medium-sized companies. What we intend to do is that so small and medium companies, European companies, and others, in this case of Brazil, we want to help them to innovate. We want to help them to become international. We we want them to be able to rise in the markets. And in this program, we have many actions, and one of those actions are directed to women, and we can talk about them later. So the main action is this help to small and medium-sized companies that majority are led by women. Welcome, Natalia. Now, I would like to ask Morgan Doyle to speak a little bit about his job. He is a representative in Brazil of the IDB group. Please, Morgan. Thank you so much, Maria Paula. I just wanted to say that it's an honor to be here in this panel and participate here. I would like to thank Monica for the invitation. This is the third time that we are involved in this forum, and I think that it's a very relevant moment to support this super relevant efforts. This is to promote the gender equality in all the levels, in all the scopes of which we work. Now I would like to greet the General Director of NDB, Mrs. Sharmila, and also Natalia Martinez, and say that it's a pleasure to also greet Maria Paula. I'm very happy to be here with you to talk about a central topic to us, which is women entrepreneurs. So everybody that is here, we are very clear that to reach the development that we want in all countries, we require to have gender equality. I think this is a topic that is completely clear, but it has other developments and other follow-ups that we as IDB we seek to have a positive impact through concrete actions. And I want to talk about this a little bit. We work to produce positive impacts to generate opportunities and reduce obstacles and barriers so women can overcome the many barriers they face and that were listed in a very summarized way. And I wanted to say that to have gender equality, it's an institutional commitment of IDB. It's not just something that is marginal. We seek in all our rationale, in our actions, to have in our work a look based on how can we work with this gender equality. And this is implies in having an alignment in everything that we do. So in all of our actions, we have an important portfolio in here in Brazil, and we take a look and we see all what are the opportunities, even if they're not so dedicated, if they're not focused on gender equality. But in all of our projects, we always ask, how can we take this opportunity to promote equality? What are the leverages to have construction of a portfolio or the grant credits? How can we use this as an instrument to support the gender equality? I just wanted to mention this because clearly we are before an enormous opportunity to advance together. Um, I just wanted to put IDB at your disposal to work together. I'm so happy for this invitation. So we are here again involved in this. And I wanted to put this IDB group at your disposal. Ana Cláudia, we are very committed to this. That's so great, guys. You all heard, right? We are witnesses to that. We want your collaboration. And now I'm going to ask Sharmila Govind, which is the General Director of the NDB, to give her words and talk about her work.
Well,
I'm going to speak in English because I'm an English speaker. I just want to say a very humble thank you to Monica
gostaria de dar
for extending this invitation to the New Development Bank. And for those people who don't know who the New Development Bank is, we are the financial arm to the BRICS countries. And very auspiciously, we were actually put to the cornerstone of our institution here in Brazil, in Fortaleza, in 2015. And so I'm very proud to be here today, standing here or sitting here amongst you to talk a little bit about what New Development Bank does. So just in terms of its context, New Development Bank is a multilateral development agency that was established by the BRICS countries in 2015 to mobilize resources for infrastructure and sustainable development projects. Our mission is to support public and private projects through loans, guarantees, equity participation, and other financial instruments. One of the objectives in terms of what we're trying to do from a BRICS point of view was to look at projects and initiatives that looked at energy efficiency and climate control, achieving regional development, better representation of emerging countries, providing humanitarian assistance to natural calamities, improving multilateral trading systems, and optimizing the use of resources. So taking these 5 founding objectives into consideration, the New Development Bank was started, and we hold these pillars true in terms of what we do. So just in terms of what New Development Bank does in its totality, we have authorized capital of over 100 billion US dollars. And as we speak, we have subscribed capital in use to the value of $10 billion. So that is the portfolio that we talk about. And our sovereigns are the people that actually back up what we do. So for this, we have to be very grateful to our founding fathers, or our founding members, being Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, as well as our new expanding memberships, which was including Bangladesh, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt. And we will be extending our membership even further. I think what is important to note in terms of today's conversation is that, and I think our previous speaker alluded a little bit to it, is in terms of where we are from a GDP point of view. The BRICS countries holds 42% of our population worldwide, and in terms of its gross domestic product, holds 32% of the global GDP. To that, more than 50% of our population is women, and that's why women is at the heart of also what we do. Just in terms of some of the projects to highlight how the work we do impacts some of our projects, and we have been in the business of building infrastructure projects. So one such example is the Luyang Metro project in China, and this was one of the major successes for the project was the human resource planning that we did, which resulted in the hiring of 2,613 workers, of which 27% were women, a high figure by the expertise of infrastructure projects in general, and in terms of output as well. The project had a focus on gender inclusion, and it is the first metro line to have nursing facilities for nursing mothers in the form of nursing rooms at a metro station. I also want to maybe highlight some of the projects that we did in India. So one of them has been the Chennai Metro Rail project, which is under implementation, which aims to increase women's empowerment in the region via the provision of safe modes of transport. So we all know that the future of women also lies in the security of women. And for this, it's noteworthy to mention that the project to date has $346 million, which was approved in December 22, and it is ongoing in terms of creating a safe environment for women to travel by rail, so creating a women's-only coach system, as well as increasing the women's safety and access to public transport. NDB also co-financed the Mumbai Rail project in India, which also includes women's safety in the terms of mobile applications as well as women-only carriages, and once again the focus was on women's safety. In terms of the COVID process, and this is where we talk about natural calamities, the bank provided 10 billion in the form of COVID emergency to projects in Brazil and India, which was focused on women-led households and vulnerable groups. Also, the economic recovery help to support women and vulnerable groups. In Brazil, 38 million people were directly reached, of which 3.6 million women-led households participated in this process. The total number of beneficiaries is estimated to be 66 million people. In India, 100% district hospitals and doctors have been trained as per the World Health Organization standards in terms of clinical treatment for COVID, of which 61% are women. In total, 206 million people, poor women shared an income support allocation of $4.17 billion, which corresponded to 99.8% of the budget amount for the measure. In South Africa, we also did a program which was very much aimed towards Black economic empowerment and the underrepresentation of women in the economic sector on the aspects of sustainability in terms of green energy and sustainable energy. So with that in mind, I think it's quite important and noteworthy to understand the power of BRICS and what it can do for each of our economies. And I thank each and every one of you for the participation in terms of what you've been able to achieve, listening to the stories that I've heard while I was standing outside through the interpreters. It is wonderful to be amongst all you wonderful women. And all I can say is I wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
A gente que agradece.
Okay, I will start here with a question now for Morgan. We know that when women is ahead of the business, there's a whole different approach. Women have a different kind of look, a little more care, something more feminine. They care for the collectiveness, and really an eye for something like. I'll give an example. When you see a woman with women, the leader by women, she usually serves all the children first, her children first, and then she'll eat at the end. When we have too little food, she rather not eat, but make sure her children eat first. When we see in the patriarchy a traditional, the man eats first, so he's served first. So in general terms, the female contribution brings lots of novelty, extremely important when we think of collective gain. It's really important for us to know how can we guarantee that the right happens in the market, and most of all, how can we do to put the credit in the hand of the women, the capital. Thank you very much for the question. In fact, yes, the this look is really distinct in a way we bring so that we have we need to focus in women, such as a warming motor, with several reasons that we have been discussed here before. So that without a doubt, women empowerment and women entrepreneurship is a motor for this. It's a driver, and with that, we need to think on how we can assure to allocate capital from the financial system to women so that they can invest in her business. This brings several policies and programs associated with it that it's very effective, not just a banker to finance and promote and adopt everything that we do in all of these places, but we also evaluate in order to show the effectiveness of this policy, but not to go too beyond the question of credit in Brazil. We have $10 million according to Sebrae. It's a market that's very relevant, and those of us who have a program to finance in Brazil, we have dedicated 1.5 billion reais just for that. So it's a very assertive policy with our several clients. In a way, it is destined to try to reduce the gap that, according to researchers from Sebrae and ours and others, shows that women business leaders have empirically a difficulty to access credit for several reasons. So when you do, for example, an evaluation when you look at credit, sometimes the default or sometimes you have different kind of things when you ask for request for money in the bank. I want to and talk to those women. For example, when you get the help from the public, you can request to borrow money from the private sector and also public sector, and we want to breach that and reduce that gap. We have women from all the regions to benefit more than 50,000 properties to improve women in the region. Also, so we also have this policy in the private sector, which is favorable and promotes in a very active way this financing for women. But it's also important to bring. I don't recognize that she's such a great partner of us. We have several tools, initiatives to promote exporting the Connection America for Women, which is a platform that helps women to access and training and identifying buyers that could look at these companies that are led by women. We also have the Women Entrepreneurship Banking in several places that will give finance for banks to help better the female markets, and that is just one. I cannot mention all of them, but what I want to say is that we really believe this way that we can help women in a differentiated way. And I want to mention this beautiful talk from the former minister from Nigeria that spoke previously as genetic. We have several things that will attend in a way that they try to offer training when it comes to self discovery and inspiring We we have a course dedicated for that. We had the luck to count on genetic with exponents women in leadership. And I wanted to thank one more time Jeanette. Jeanette. We want to thank Jeanette. I want to ask one more question. Is there any one of you that deal with the export with you? They talked about you, the credit. Let's look for him. Let's meet later and give match in the next few days. Thank you very much. Another question for Natalia. I would like to know how the European Commission is going to promote the business among women. Now, the European Commission is for a long, long time ago promoting and helping women. It promotes with actions geared towards entrepreneur women. But not just to help them look for financing, but also to put the woman in an important role in the company, in a visible role as well. And how do we do it? We have three manners that we're working on. One is working to promote role models as a woman, and also improving access to networks and mentoring of women. Another way is I'm going to develop that later, it's to empowering women and girls, not just women, but also girls, to change into entrepreneur women. And that's what's going to be what we do with our legislature. Last year, European Union approved a law that so that in the company you have the representative that is same as for women and men. They said he was financing project to promote the role in women to improve the access and networking and mentoring of women. We done it, several actions. So first of all, through our net that's called EEN, Enterprise Europe Network. This net is the largest in the world net for small and medium companies that counts with 600 organizations are present in 60 countries. I would love Brazil to be part of this European net of companies, and within this net is what we call a group, the thematic group of entrepreneur women entrepreneur. It accounts more than 112 members. And what is the role of this group? Is to support women, entrepreneur women, for many, many years. And what do? They look for partners as well as cooperating partners and partners for financing, for the products, for the processes. Also, it helps women with innovative services, inform them what kind of European programs they have, and help them to apply for in order to be able to get finance, give support so women can access the financing, and also together to help them to network with other women who also have these similar kind of companies, small and medium size. So this group has been so successful, and it's a strength because women want to help women, and we have many, many best practices, and one of them is from anywhere in the world. They can help each other connect to this net. And we also have launched the support with other partners, international partners. For instance, last year we had one that was called UN Women, and also in participation with Euro Chile and the Women program. What do? They motivate women, especially those that are specialists in the energy and technology and solution, to work in event together. So we know that medium, small companies during the pandemic was the one that were most affected, especially those led by women. And OEN is I repeat, is the largest net that connects small and medium companies, and which Brazil is part. And they helped a lot of companies reinvented themselves and organized so that women could have the first, I'm not sure how you say pitching event in Portuguese. Okay, pitching event with business angels. It was so successful that bad business, big business financed women directly right there. And last week we organized second one called EN Power per 2024. So that's why through the EN and the thematic group women, they are able to support each other. Another action that we have is called WeGate. WeGate is a platform, European platform online that creates and promotes real opportunities for women to do business, to expand their networks, to learn, to have mentors. We also have a European community of women business angels and women entrepreneurs. This is an initiative of the European Parliament in order to support entrepreneurial women to access different way of financing. We also have a European network to promote the women, entrepreneur women. It's a politic net formed by some countries that represent as delegates the government and institutions to promote and support entrepreneur women on a national level. And also the European network of European entrepreneur women that are ambassadors that are present in 22 countries as role models. And it also said that empoderamos, we empower women, little girls to become entrepreneurs. I'd like to say that in my unit we have a project that is called the project STEAM, Entrepreneur, Science, Technology, Engineer, Arts and Mathematics. And also it's been going on for 3 years, and the idea is to organize STEAM, face and to connect the women, but above all, the young girls that are in school, because so that they know that they can be women entrepreneur in these technological area in the engineer actually not just men, women too. Women sometimes don't know, they don't have that motivation that they should have to do that. And with STEM, we have this online community to help them and promote them. And as I said at the end, the legislature, the European legislature, you can see that in the European Union, we are developing a lot and support entrepreneur women. It's a pleasure to be here to learn, to listen, and to learn about all the initiatives. And at the end, I want to say that many times women is her own worst enemy because women think they don't have the capability, that they won't be able to. It's true, it's true. We are our own worst enemy because, oh, I can't, I don't have the capability. I'm not better than men. Why not? We're here because we can do it. I wanted to just give out this message right there.
Natalia, as we can see, you have a lot of initiatives going on. You have something important to create the role model. It's very important. In Brazil, we have Janete Vaz, which is a role model. But everybody that was up here talked about her. I just wanted you to share some important person or personality that you has encouraged you or in your network that we can follow. All women that were here in the video, for me, they are inspirational. That is why the program is important because we thought that many times women they don't want to be leaders because think about Marie Curie for she she was a woman that many years ago was inspirational. Joan of Arc, sorry. And we have to think that women is not seen as an engineer. That is why with this program we have been doing this for 3 years, and it's a great success because it's directed to women in schools. We apologize, we cannot hear her voice. We apologize, we cannot hear because her mic's not working. We apologize, we cannot hear. Interpretation cannot hear the sound. So, t-
and mathematics.
Okay.
Está dirigida.
it's in my unit. We want that. So you can copy. We don't have the copyrights. If you want, we can give you all information. This is a piloting program, but it's having a great success. Monica is already preparing something. Shamila, I wanted to for you to propose what kind of advice would you give to the policymakers to include women in this equation of financing for development?
So much for the question. I think the only way I can answer this question is, and I have to agree with some of my panel members here, is that when we start looking at women, we need to start looking at the girl child first. So educating the girl child is so important. I think a mandatory subject in every schooling system should be entrepreneurship. Because it's such a critical skill that people need to learn going into the future, because not everyone is going to want to work for someone else. So we need to start teaching the girl child in terms of what are the critical skills that you need to become an entrepreneur for the future. I think also to that, we need to also hone in on the soft skills that women have. We take it for granted that, soft skills is fluffy, it's things that we just do, but we don't value what those soft skills are. And if you read the 2024 World Bank Skills Report of the Future, everything they talk about is soft skills, and women have it in abundance. So, I think to answer your question more directly in terms of what would be my advice to policymakers when it comes to women and entrepreneurship, I think the first thing we need to do as policymakers in this process is to allow the access of capital for women. This is the road to true empowerment, economic empowerment. To that, we need to make sure that there's proper regulation around how women use that capital, helping them in terms of how do you register a business, what is the taxes involved in it, how do you draw balance sheets. These are basic skills that can be taught. And the last part of it, I think it's also to what my colleague said, it's also about the ongoing or continuous education around what entrepreneurship means. And I think women have a fundamental role to play in the future of entrepreneurship, because globally, we are the biggest consumers. So why not take this into our own hands to determine what entrepreneurship means for us?
All right.
Morgan, another question to you. What is the best way to make an appeal to commercial banks and other potential sources of funding to pay attention to the number of people that will participate? The more people participate in the free market, the more people will be successful. Thank you so much, Maria Paula. I think that this has to start by showing, based on the evidence, that this is the best way, indeed. And according to our perspective, how we could really turn the key, it was an institutional decision about the many methods that we've decided internally. So we have a series of indicators that show how can we meet the many gaps that we see. and also with the clients that we work with. So this requires a deep diagnostics, and from that we want to construct and or guide and public and private sector. So we establish institutional goals that can be measured, and this is very, very important, but also passes through training, so we can advance on these implementations. I think that when you take a look at the data that was mentioned here about the IMF, that will generate 35% more of the GDP. And when you see the probability of not paying between men and women have less probability of not paying, these are many, many, many follow-ups. It's not just about human rights and equity, but it's also business. And it's safe because women are going to pay. Women pay better. They're better payers. Much more. And this is really proved with data. And we have more responsibility and institutional responsibility and an empiric explanation based on data. And this is clear. So we have to take this to these goals, institutional goals, and it's important to continue building evidence. Everything that we do, we consider this a knowledge. So we have funding, and we think, what is our differential? Because we're very engaged with this agenda. We study and we create knowledge based on real evidence. And once you look and make a decision, you have to follow up on the results, and you have to assess the results to subsidize these results and these decisions. I just wanted to close and talking about something that is associated to the question. At IDB, we think that we have leaders, women leaders, but we are lacking women in leaderships. So it's the possibility of channel this so these women can continue growing. And I just wanted to close this and thank you for the opportunity of being here. We'd like to thank you.
We have the last question to Natalia and then Shamila. Natalia, I want to know, how are we going to do to have more business among European women and Brazilian women? Let's go what's interesting for us here. Right, guys? As they said earlier, through EN, and that has representative, because in EN, we are partners here, is right there, through groups of women that are entrepreneurs, and which is the most straight channel and fastest channel. Through that group, you're able to meet all the initiatives, not only in Europe, as you say, because the net, it still needs 60 countries. We have European countries, associate countries, Brazil, and I'm not going to repeat how the advantages of the group, but I'm going to avoid. So I want to invite you to contact Ian so that you learn about all the opportunities better than I can just say. And the service that it provides is also to follow the small and medium company, they're leader by women or not. All the process is to see opportunities. You have an idea, then when you get there, you speak with the person from EN, and sometimes maybe it was not appropriate, you didn't have the market. So the advice is to contact EN, and that's a very safe way to do a path. There's a portal to for everyone, not just Europe, but for 60 countries. We also have the project that we mentioned. It's in English. I'm going to translate here. It's e-social. It's a program from the European police between Europe and Latin America. What does this program want? To contribute to and influence in the legislature, public legislature, to improve the social topic between governance, social politics, and gender equality. I don't know how you say that in Portuguese. Okay. Gender equality. In this gender equality, it is structured. We have three pillars: the physical, economical, and political. In order to influence in politics, public politics, the component of gender, which I think is a program that's already, it's called Eurosocial. The portal can inform you, the yen in the portal. We also have a program that helps understanding in women in European angels and network, EEBAN, is to gather strength to move forward the investment in women in Europe. And together with the United Nations, in order for women to access the financing. And the third, which is also very important because it's open for all the women worldwide, so everyone. It is also done, it's also in my unit. It is this entrepreneur learning platform, just like it says, it's for all the women, which is a platform that offers interactive learning through different modules with different competences. So entrepreneur, digitalization, sustainability. It's focused in inclusive matter. I'm not sure that's how you call okay, inclusion. So inclusion for the youth, we include the youth, minority, ethnic minority, migrants, and women. So it's done specific groups like a target group. They see women as a target group. So training, so you have learning in order to so that women can reinvent their business, to look for financing, and to see their competences. So this program is open for all women. I invite them to visit this platform so they can find how and see how women. So this platform is called Entrepreneurial Learning Platform. I'll give you all the information later or through the EN. So it's an opportunity in order to be able to keep on do business, and then later, because so that women later are not the target group for inclusivity. Well, thank you very much. And now to end, I'm going to ask Shamila to talk to us about or share a story of any woman that got a benefit from the NDB project.
Obrigada por isso. Acho que já falamos de alguns projetos do NDB, mas eu vou contar uma história. No NDB, nós nós construímos uma estrada de mais de 1.000 quilômetros na Índia, que passava por 24 distritos. E o que isso fez às mulheres? Aumentou ou permitiu a elas ter acesso a algumas facilidades, a alguns lugares que elas nunca tiveram. e também diminuiu a taxa de mortalidade, porque aí elas conseguiam chegar a hospitais e clínicas muito mais rápida e reduziu também a taxa de mortalidade das crianças, porque elas não conseguiam chegar a esses hospitais. E também reduziu o tempo que as mulheres levavam para chegar às escolas e para universidades. Isso permitiu mais educação. E também reduziu a pegada de carbono. Então, quando a gente olha para esse ponto de vista e olha para todos esses fatores, a gente leva tudo isso em consideração e vê qual é o impacto social e econômico e que nós, não somente nós NDB, mas todos nós aqui, podemos fazer para aquelas mulheres que não têm voz. Muito obrigada.
And so we end in high class our panel, and we want to thank you for having built this path, this road that has benefited so many women. And want to thank Natalia also for having done so many offering all these platforms that we're going to enter. We're going to log in and connect and do business there. We want to thank Morgan Doyle for being so careful in offering the credit, but also doing the monitoring, making sure it's happening, making sure women are getting them, okay, in order to do that, so that the rules of the game is higher and higher. Thank everyone. So now let's do some networking, right? We're here. We're here. We're here to meet one another, to celebrate, be together, because these meetings, aside from business, it also brings life and happiness and recognition for what we do, that what we're capable and we're ready. There's no one to say, hey, the place of a woman is here, there. The place of a woman is wherever she wants. So thank you very much and good night. Thank you everyone for this amazing contribution from all of you in this panel. And the participants that are watching remotely, we want to thank you for your participation. We want to inform that WeFORUM continue tomorrow from 9 a.m. everybody, with the program, the very rich program, business meeting and virtual business meeting. Let's make this official picture. Let's take this official picture. The WeFORUM Business Network is going to happen during our event, and is going to promote a business opportunity of quality throughout the day. And we will have important panels. Apaguei a coisa errada. Apaguei errado. Things that are technology, finance and energy and consumption. And to celebrate all these conquests, have the importance of this event, we invite everyone for our cocktail that is in the white hall. Okay, everyone, in the name of the organization of this forum, we want to end the activities. We want to thank everyone's participation and presence, and we hope to see you again tomorrow from 9 o'clock in the morning in the same place, all right? With so many connections and new advancements in the female entrepreneur scenario. Wonderful evening for everyone. We now have the video of our sponsor, Sebrae.
Eu tô procurando ter aqui no bairro. Comprar do pequeno é muito mais rápido. Eu compro da Nilza, compro da Tereza, eu compro do Marcos, do seu Reginaldo. Eu compro do pequeno aqui do meu bairro, porque movimenta a economia e gera oportunidades para o Brasil inteiro. Vai comprar? Compre do pequeno negócio.